Machiavelli was a Renaissance diplomat, philosopher, and writer, best known for the work The Prince. The Prince was a book describing how a prince should gain power and then hold on to that power. Machiavelli's The Prince has inspired numerous writers, filmmakers, and storytellers throughout the years to develop characters based on his definition of a good prince. We call these characters Machiavellians, sometimes a literal depiction of what Machiavelli describes of a good prince, or a slightly more exaggerated take. We find characters like this in Othello with Iago, Lord Varys in Game of Thrones, Scar from The Lion King, and many more. This character type has become very popular to write and act due to the character's nature. So popular that a recent book I have read, which is Star Wars: The High Republic, has one such character, Marchion, the leader of a group called the Nile. To give some character context of Marchion, he is the now leader of the Nile, a group of space pirates of some sort in the outer rim of the galaxy. His father was recently killed, and he does not know who, but has suspicion that one of his Tempest runners killed him. The Nile organization works like this. Marchion is called the Eye, and is the man on top who has all the information. He calls the shots. Then under him, he has the 3 Tempest runners, which are like generals who wield sole control over their unit. Below the Tempest runners are the storms, clouds, and then finally strikes, in that order. I've listed examples of who are Machiavellians, but what does it actually mean to be one? What are their characteristics? Why does this new Star Wars character fall in line as a Machiavellian? To be a Machiavellian, the prince should act virtuous to his people, but for the benefit of themselves, not just to be virtuous. Marchion holds celebrations on his flagship to increase the morale of his subjects when times of raiding are slow or when there's a successful mission. However, he does not party just to party. There is always a purpose to the party, whether it is to teach a lesson in front of everyone or to play with the Nile's antics. Secondly, the prince should be feared by his subjects. Marchion is feared in 2 ways. Physically, he is a powerful man and at times has cut off the hand of one of his Tempest runners to teach a lesson of greed and failure. In the Nile, there is always consequences to failure. Secondly, he has a knowledge that no one else has, and without that knowledge, there would be no more Nile. The knowledge he holds is hyperspace routes that go throughout the galaxy that the Nile used to raid. Thirdly, Machiavelli says the prince should follow the masses' religion and rule behind a mask. The Nile is like a religion to its members, besides Marchion. He does not believe in their chaotic rampaging and partying. However, these are the people he rules over, and without them he cannot achieve his greater goals and ambitions. So he goes along with the Nile's crazy philosophies to use for his benefit. Marchion is also two-faced. He agrees with the Nile's philosophies in public, but has a darker agenda behind closed doors that he does not tell anyone. If the book couldn't describe it better, they write his character to have a mask that he does not take off in front of anyone besides trusted individuals. Speaking on trust, Machiavelli says that a prince should trust the lower classes, not the autocracy. Marchion has a greater trust towards his subjects than his 3 Tempest runners, because he knows one day his Tempest runners will try to overthrow him, but the masses will not, because they fear and have his favor. Not to say the Tempest runners don't fear him, but they do not have the masses' complete loyalty like Marchion does. Finally, Machiavelli believes the end justifies the mean, and for Marchion, he follows this principle. He is a ruthless and violent individual. He will do what it takes to get what he wants. Marchion holds a dark secret. The way he has his knowledge for the hyperspace routes that keep the Nile together is he holds a woman captive in a stasis pod at the edge of death. This woman has the ability to calculate hyperspace routes in her head. However, it causes her great suffering to use this ability. She also is over 200 years old, and it is not humane to keep her alive. She also has lost her mind, and she thinks she's a child because of the torture Marchion has done to her. His cruel treatment of this woman to get what he wants is evil, but he does it for his end goal and his benefit. Marchion's struggle of keeping his power from his Tempest runners is a modern-day depiction of the prince in the Star Wars universe. There are many more ways Marchion is classified as a Machiavellian, and there's more ways that Machiavelli describes how a prince should act. However, there's just not enough time to talk about every little detail from this book. Charles Soule, the writer of Star Wars: High Republic, used these aspects of the prince to incorporate them in his character Marchion, who turned out to be the best character in the book, and without him, the book wouldn't be the same.